Well. After visiting Kailasagiri Park and enjoying the ropeway, the amazing view of the Bay of Bengal, that much needed AC train ride, and the very relaxing Lumbini Park in the episode 1. Wait, don't tell me you haven't watched the episode 1. Don't worry, let me provide you the link of it on the top right of the screen. Alright, today on day 3 in Vizag, it was time to visit Big Daddy of the city. Well, you guessed it right, the submarine and the naval aircraft, where I was absolutely flabbergasted to see how the warship and the craft is. This is Rahul and you're watching episode 2 of our Eastern Ghats trip. Let's go. Alright, so this is another fresh day and we have reached the first destination of the day, that is the most famous in Vizag. So that is the submarine, which was decommissioned by the Indian Navy, which is turned into a museum. I mean, look how huge that is. And that is right next to the RK beach. Ye to Vizag wala. So every time you see Vizag, you'll see this road in movies and all that. So there is the aircraft museum udhar. We should be going there as well, but first we will go here. So we have a line there. If you see the people standing there, we have a line. We have to take a ticket and enter the submarine, and I am super duper excited for that. So let's get going. So that is the name of the submarine, that is INS Kursura. So this is the line. Aap jo dekh rahe pura ye line hai, and then you'll have to take a ride from there, take the tickets and enter the submarine. So like I was saying, this is the sea, that's the Bay of Bengal, and the submarine is placed right next to the sea. So this is how we entered. So yahan ye line mein theer ke we'll have to buy the ticket and then join that line, which will take us to the submarine all the way till there. So we have finally entered from there. If you see, this is the anchor of the submarine, this is the battery for the submarine, and look how huge that is. In case if you didn't know what those are torpedoes. I was talking about a torpedo. There is a torpedo exhibition here, and look how huge that is. So this whole place is converted into a park kind of a thing, a museum in fact. So if you see, that's the battery, there's a torpedo put there. Of course, this is the submarine, and there's certain things there as well. So once we exit from there, we will be seeing them. And that is the beautiful view of the Bay of Bengal all the way from the submarine. And this is how we enter a submarine. Oh, it's thunder inside. So much mechanism, right? So the torpedo comes all the way from here till the point where I showed you earlier. These are the torpedo head. Can you see the amount of mechanism that is there in the submarine? I mean, just look at that. First of all, you have to be in there. I mean, there's so many knobs and all that. Inside the sea, I don't know how deep this goes, and then you also have to think about enemies and all that. Imagine how mentally stressful that can be. See how tiny that door is? I mean, I'll have to bend all the way to watch your head. How do they stay in this dirt? So this is the wash space. And you can't, it's not like just to stay, you're like in a constant state of war. So this was the officer whose office this was. That's super tiny, man. And this is the sleeping area. How do you even sleep in that, no? You need to be mentally so trained. And this is the space for lunch, and apparently the officer is having idli. And see how tiny that door is, and so many knobs and so much mechanism. Like, imagine knowing what every knob, everything does. This is amazing. Chalate submarine chalate. How do you know which, like, so much mechanism, man, like, seriously. And there's very little space for human to even like loiter around. Tiny doors. Oh, this needs a lot of practice, man. Commendable, yeah. Commendable what the Navy officers do in all this. There's hardly any space to even walk, and these guys actually fight wars in this under deep sea. All gauges, knobs, pipes, It's like too much mechanism. Wow, figuring out what went wrong will be a task, man. Having so many gauges, how do you even know which one is what? There's so many damn meters. Wow. Just look at that. Oh, that's with the submarine. I mean, I was completely mind blown. I know these all are very techy and all that stuff, but then the amount of technology, the amount of engineering that has gone inside this is absolutely. I'm speechless. Matlab, how do they even fight wars in this, man? Oh god. And it is huge. Just look at that. Like I told you earlier, there are certain things of the submarine put as a showcase here. So that is the reflector sonar system, is an underwater sound detector. Oh, this is the sound detector. And like another one, this is the high pressure bottle which is put here. Oh god, this is crazy. So that's with the submarine. Now it's time to head to destination number 2. So our destination 2 is not very far from where we were from the submarine. In fact, it is right next to the submarine. That is the submarine जो अभी हम लोग गए और आपको बताया. और ये है the aircraft museum. So we just literally had to cross the road and we've reached the aircraft museum. I'm super excited for that because I was always excited with about all the aircrafts and all that. So let's get in and check what's there inside. Let's go. So also, if you see, so this is the aircraft museum. If you see towards that side, that is the Sea Harrier with a vertical takeoff. So apparently that is also a museum. So in case if you have time, you can visit that one as well. So apparently this also has a line for the ticket counter, so you need to have some patience to visit these places. If you see, that is the line for the submarine. So the entry gate is there and the line is all the way till there for the tickets. And yahan pe bhi wahi hai. So that's the entry and you get the tickets there, and the line is all the way till here. So let's wait for our turn. So this is the aircraft museum and the Victory War Memorial is right there, if you guys can see. This is the entrance, and the moment you enter, you see this huge plane of Navy. It's named the Hunter. So let's get in and check what's inside. I mean, look at how huge that plane is. So that is the plane which is kept. Probably we'll be getting inside that. So this is the entrance, and that's the whole museum for you. Oh wow, that's the crazy design of birds and all that. And if you look at the shadow, it looks like a plane. This is the plane that has been put in the museum, and this was inspired by this particular bird, albatross. So the design of the plane, if you see, is actually like the shape of this particular bird. So this is a Russian made aircraft, and this is the history of it. So pause it and read it in case if you're interested. This is one of the propellers. That's the propeller engine, and this is the propeller. And this is one of the engines of the aircraft, this NK-12MP, and look at how huge that engine is. So this weighs approximately around 4,000 kgs. This alone. This is just one engine. The flare guns, bullets, matchbox, first aid kits, etc., etc. And this is a bloody missile. And this is the air bomb. If you see here, this is the air bomb, and this is a missile. And this is the holography of the flight that we're going to see now. That is put for display. And my favorite part, the medals. Oh wow, look at that sword. Ramey, look at that sword. Donated by Vice Admiral Dilip Deshpande. Beautiful sword. So that's what all that stuff, and here is the aircraft which is put as a exhibition, and this is the way to the aircraft where we will be actually going towards the aircraft. In fact, inside the aircraft, if you see. So let's get going. And the aircraft. Look at the propellers. The set of 2 propellers here, there, of course, on the other side as well. And there we enter. This military, navy aircrafts and all, and the submarine is just like the submarine, no? Where there's very little space for humans. It's all more of the engines and all that stuff. So I think this is where the bombs are dropped from. Yeah, if you see, this is where the bombs are dropped from, Ramya. This opening, these are the bombs. See? Wow, so much mechanism, yeah. And like all this tiny space, very small space. So much wiring and all that. I wonder what there. And this finally is the cockpit of the flight. Beautiful. That was a very quick tour of that beautiful Navy aircraft. You know, there's so much mechanism. The same was in the submarine as well. There's so much mechanism. I wonder how. I mean, you need to be extremely intelligent, of course. Only not everybody is selected in the Navy and Army. This is the reason. You need to be extremely intelligent even to understand these aircraft. There's also a VR game zone in case if somebody is interested. 3D game. So this is right next to the aircraft and the exit gate. In case if somebody is interested, you can do that as well.